The Niralamba Upanishad, cited in the Shukla Yajurveda, provides a profound answer to this very question. Niralamba means one who depends on no support, who is a complete support in itself. This Upanishad teaches that true power is not outside, but in your own pure consciousness. Today, we will understand where bondage truly lies, what liberation means, and what it feels like to stand firmly within without any external support. Let us delve into this mystery together. Let's take a moment to honestly look at our lives. Our mornings often begin by looking at others' lives, and unknowingly we start comparing. At the office, we live for the boss's approval, hoping that their praise will determine our worth. In relationships, we want someone else to fulfill every emotional need of ours. Wealth, cars, and clothes no longer remain just things, they become part of our identity. We have taken the center of our existence from within and placed it outside, and this becomes the root of all suffering. The problem is not in these things, the problem lies in our dependence. The mind has come to believe that happiness, security, and value are found outside. When no one appreciates us, the mind breaks. When there is a crisis at work, anxiety arises within. When a relationship breaks, it feels as if a part of oneself has died. This happens because our identity has become attached to those people, those positions, and those praises. They become our support, and when they are taken away, we fall. Niralamba Upanishad directly attacks this misconception. It says that what we consider as support, the world itself, is ever changing. That which is not stable itself, how can it become a permanent support? This trust is like building a palace on sand, which breaks with a gust of wind. The sage knew that as long as a person depends on external supports, they will find neither peace nor freedom. They will always live in fear of losing that support, as if begging for happiness. To free us from this suffering, the message of Niralamba Upanishad was given. It transforms us from beggars into emperors and teaches that there is no need for any external support, because our greatest support is ourselves. So, what is the solution to this problem? Thousands of years ago, sages gave the answer in a small but extremely powerful Upanishad called the Niralamba Upanishad. The word Niralamba itself reveals the entire philosophy. Nir means without, and Alamba means support. Niralamba means being established without any support. One who does not depend on anyone, who is established in oneself and complete in oneself. This Upanishad is associated with the Shukla Yajurveda tradition and holds a place in the tradition of 108 Upanishads. This Upanishad reveals a revolutionary truth. It says that the way you consider yourself weak, incomplete, or dependent, you are actually not so. Your true nature is independent. Your real form is that supreme truth which does not require any external support. That truth is called Brahman. Now, what is Brahman? The Niralamba Upanishad explains that Brahman is indivisible. It is neither bound by a beginning nor limited by an end. It is pure, peaceful in nature, beyond qualities, formless, and full of bliss. It is one. Nothing else is real besides it. That is the supreme consciousness. Imagine an infinite ocean. In that same sea, waves rise, bubbles form, and foam is created. All these appear different, have different names and forms, but they are not separate from the ocean. They originate from it, live in it, and ultimately merge back into it. Brahman is that ocean, and this entire world is merely its waves. Then why do we experience this separation? Why do we feel that we are only the body and mind? The Upanishads call this ignorance. Just as in the dark a rope is mistaken for a snake, similarly, due to ignorance, we forget our true nature and consider ourselves to be this body, this mind, and this ego. This misconception is called the individual soul, Jiva. In reality, the individual soul is Brahman itself, but it limits itself with false identities. This ignorance is the root of suffering. Suffering means the imagination entangled in non self temporary objects. When we think that I am this body, the body's pain becomes our pain. When we say this position is mine, the fear of losing it begins to trouble us. This false identification is called bondage. What is bondage? The notion of this is mine itself is bondage. The desire for achievements is bondage. Performing sacrifices, vows, or penance with the expectation of rewards is also bondage. Considering caste, role, or stage of life as one's identity is bondage. Even the desire for liberation, if born out of ego, becomes bondage. Any thought that takes us away from our infinite nature and binds us to a limited identity is bondage. So then, what is happiness? Happiness is not outside. True happiness is recognizing one's true nature of existence, consciousness, and bliss. It is knowing that I am existence, consciousness, and bliss. This happiness does not depend on external objects. It is the nature of the soul, just as sweetness is the nature of sugar. And what is liberation? Liberation is not going to any realm. Liberation is the state here and now. The destruction of bondage is called liberation. Discerning the eternal and the non eternal and eradicating attachment to temporary things is liberation. The realization that I am not the body or mind, but that eternal, independent Brahman itself is true freedom. To clarify this feeling, the Upanishads also explain the meaning of heaven and hell. Heaven means living with truth and good company. Hell means wandering in thirst for desires. The mind burning with desires is the fire of hell. This knowledge turns us inward. It tells us that power, peace, joy, and freedom do not need to be sought outside. They are all present within us. We only need to remove the dust of ignorance and recognize the rope as a rope so that the illusion of the snake ends. If this deep knowledge is touching your heart and you feel that this message can give a new direction to your life, then be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video to reach other seekers. Also, write in the comments the one word that is resonating most in your consciousness at this moment so that we can all connect with each other on this spiritual journey and this awakening can expand further. Now, the question is, what is the meaning of this knowledge in our daily lives? It is not enough to simply know that we are Brahman and independent. The real need is to apply this understanding in life so that the cycle of external dependence can be broken. Niralamba Upanishad not only provides philosophy but also inspires one to live it. The first step is the practice of the witness consciousness. Attachment forms when we identify ourselves with our thoughts, emotions, and body. When anger arises, we say, I am angry. When sorrow comes, we say, I am sad. The witness consciousness breaks this identification. Sit quietly for some time during the day and let your breath flow naturally. Then observe your thoughts. Do not try to stop or change them. Just watch them as clouds come and go in the sky. A thought comes, stays for a while, and then goes away. You are not the thoughts. You are the witness who observes them. When a strong emotion arises, such as anger, fear, or jealousy, instead of reacting immediately, pause for a moment. Experience that emotion in your body. Observe where it is manifesting. Just observe it without saying, I am sad. Internally say, a feeling of sadness has arisen, and I am observing it. Gradually, this creates a distance between you and the emotions. You do not get swept away by the stream of emotions, but stand on the shore and watch them. This distance is the beginning of freedom. You realize that you are the calm sky in which thoughts and emotions come and go like clouds, but the sky remains unaffected. This is the first stage of detachment. The second step is skillfulness in action and detachment from the results. Most of us perform actions to obtain desired outcomes. We work hard to gain a position. We help someone to receive respect. The problem is not in performing actions, but in clinging to the results. This attachment gives rise to suffering. When the outcome does not meet expectations, disappointment and anger fill the heart. Niralamba Upanishad teaches us to perform actions that do not create bondage. Perform actions with full dedication, skill, and honesty, but let go of their results. This is the purity of action. Do every task as if it is a worship. Do your best work at the office simply because doing good work is your duty. Let go of worries about progress or praise. Give love in relationships unconditionally without expecting any return. When the worry about the fruit is let go, then the action does not remain a burden. Natural joy manifests in the work. The mind, freed from the restlessness of the goal, immerses itself in the process. It is in this state that many times the best results come automatically. Your happiness depends not on the outcome, but on your dedication and sincerity. This is inner freedom. The third step is self inquiry. Who am I? The Upanishads describe ignorance as the greatest bondage and knowledge as the path to liberation. The direct method to know one's true nature is self inquiry. Whenever a thought related to I arises in the mind, such as I am sad, I am successful, or I want this, immediately ask the question, who is this I that is experiencing this? Am I this body? The body is constantly changing, one in childhood, another in youth, and yet another in old age. A changing object cannot be the I. Am I the mind or thoughts? Thoughts come and go. I am the steady witness who observes them, so I am not the thoughts either. Am I emotions? Emotion also arise and disappear. I am the knower of emotions, not the emotions themselves. When all these are negated, what remains in the end is pure consciousness. That calm, present awareness is your true nature. That is Brahman. That is independent. This practice gradually cuts away false identities and establishes you in your original source. Then you experience that you are neither the body nor the mind, but that eternal consciousness which no external object can bind. The fourth step is embracing solitude and silence. Our mind is constantly filled with external noise, people's talks, the clamor of media, and the crowd of our own thoughts. In this noise, the voice of the soul gets suppressed. We forget to look within while looking outside. To be independent, it is essential to connect with the inner source. And for this, solitude and silence are the most effective means. Spend some time every day, even if just a few moments in solitude. Sit without any distractions, no devices, no reading, just stay with yourself. In the beginning, the mind will be restless. A stream of thoughts will flow. But just as the mud stirred in water gradually settles down, the mind will also begin to calm. In this calmness, you will experience a deep presence. Within, a place will reveal itself that remains always peaceful and steady, no matter how much commotion there is outside. This is your inner abode, your true home. The more time you spend in this silence, the less the external noise will disturb you. Dependence will slowly shift from outside to within, because the source of peace and power will now begin to be found within yourself. These four steps will gradually free you from external supports and stabilize you in your independent form. This is not an overnight transformation, but a journey of patience and continuous practice. However, every step taken on this path brings you closer to true freedom, true power, and true joy. Today, we deeply realize that the root cause of our greatest suffering is our dependence on external objects and circumstances. We understood the invaluable secret of the Niralamba Upanishad, that our true nature is Niralamba, meaning complete without any support. We are not waves dependent on the ocean. We ourselves are the infinite ocean, within whose depths infinite peace and power always reside. We have understood that bondage is not really an external chain, but the false identification within, in which we consider ourselves only as the body, or regard the objects of the world as our own. Liberation is not a state of the distant future, but recognizing our blissful conscious nature by abandoning these illusory notions at this very moment. This is true awakening. This is real freedom. We have also observed in practice the paths through which this knowledge can manifest in life. Observing thoughts and emotions with a witness attitude, performing actions with dedication and surrender while letting go of attachment to the results, continuously self inquiring, who am I? And repeatedly connecting with one's inner source in solitude and silence. These four means lead us from dependence to freedom. The message of Niralamba Upanishad is simple, but its power is immense. Give up the old habit of seeking support and become your own support. Stop asking for recognition or validation from outside and become steady in the true consciousness within yourself. True freedom lies in moving away from external supports and connecting with the infinite, unwavering source within. Only when you are not dependent on any object, person, or circumstance do you truly become worthy of having everything. When you are empty and calm from within, the entire universe can reside in your consciousness. This journey is the journey from a beggar to an emperor. That emperor who needs no external support because he is full of wisdom, self knowledge, and inner strength, and always stands firm in his own light. What are your thoughts on this journey? Do you also experience external dependence in your life? Be sure to write your feelings in the comments below so that we can inspire each other and move forward together on this path of freedom. If you found this video meaningful, be sure to share it with your loved ones and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to press the notification bell to receive updates on new teachings so that every upcoming spiritual journey reaches you on time. Remember that you do not need any support. You yourself are the support you have been searching for outside. Heartfelt thanks for your time and presence.